Three, two, one, and we're live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Fabulites. This is Angela, and I have got questions for you. What opens with a dream sequence and Eugene, our coach, being asked if he's all in? And what closes? With us realizing that he's all in. We don't know if he's all in dead or if he's all in killed, but we know something happened. He all in. If you guessed the Quad Season 2, Episode 7, Middle Passage, Middle Passage, you're correct. Or maybe you just read it on the thumbnail. Thank you for clicking on the video or joining live and sticking around to see how we get from opening to closing. I'm Angela, and the channel is Be Fabulous You. Lego. So we open up with the dream sequence. That's what they do in this season. Did they do that last season? And we see it's a game going on. It's cards. It's gambling. It's Coach plus 2 or 3 other dudes. Coach is like, looking at his cards. He's got 2 aces. He says, I'm all in. And the guy is like, you ain't all in yet. And then Coach pushes some little like digital hand-sized versions of his daughters and his ex-wife, current wife, in, and and they're like, and the guy is like, dang, 2 aces. I thought you were bluffing, but you lose, Eugene. I got a royal flush. And then we hear the baby girl voices, no, daddy, no. Okay. So, we hear some music playing. Then we see Miss Noni. We see she's cleaning a horn. And then the thieving band director, is it Taylor? He comes into the room and he's like, you done? And Noni's like, yes, sir. And then the thief is like, good. Now do those. And he indicates like a wall full of instruments. And then Noni is like, yes, sir. And he leaves. And we see that she done cleaned about 800 million instruments already. And then we can tell on her face that she has an idea. She realized something has gone on in her mind. It's daylight. We see the young men that we left at the end of the last episodes who were in the woods with just their underwears. I didn't realize they ain't even had their shoes, did I? I don't think I realized that. They ain't even had their shoes. But they done finally made it back to campus. I think they're in their undies. I think they're at the fraternity house. And Cedric and his roomie and the Line brothers. And then, the big guy, Josh, is like, I'm out, says Josh, the big guy. I'm done. We had no idea how much longer we gonna have to deal with this mess. It's a wrap for me. I'm out. I'm not even going in that house to get my clothes. Y'all can keep them. I'm done. I'm out. It's over. I'm through. It's finished. Goodbye. Don't want no parts of the fraternity. We see President Eva arriving. She's bearing the gift of food in Coach's office, like a gift basket type deal. But it's like grits. I don't know what she's saying, but I guess it's like a Southern cooking food basket. And President Eva is like, that star player. I should know his name, but I say it later on. Dwight Jenkins announced to the whole world that he wanted to attend GAMU. So why are you not on it? And the coach is like, well, right after the child's announcement, the child's daddy said that he was not coming here. So, and plus, what about Bojan? Oh, I see. You want to have the 2 top quarterbacks to bring in more money. Then we see Cedric and his roommate, Bryce, arguing, and Cedric is like, Josh was right. What kind of brothers leave you stranded in the middle of nowhere in your drawers? And then his roomie is like, it's mind games. It's mind games. They just breaking us down individually to remake us into brothers. And then we see Ebony at the door as Bryce is leaving. And Cedric and her are walking and talking about their music project and everything. And then it's like Ebony stops and Cedric sees. And it's like the sight of band director Diamond just kind of has her stop in her tracks. He like, you all right? She like, I'm cool. And then that ends their conversation. Then we see President Eva arriving at a meeting in a conference room. She's talking about her plan to prevent the merger. And one of the the men, it's like a group of men, they the board of trustees, and they like, the trustees have already voted to merge with the Georgia University system, Dr. Fletcher. We believe it's for the best. And President Eva is like, this is premature. I have resources that I haven't even tapped into yet, and were we not at the same meeting? They don't care about this school. And then we see a flashback of the meeting, and the other black woman president, I don't remember her name, she's like, this is good for you. And President Eva is like, okay, look at this agreement, page 10, clause 4 or whatever, admission policy to be determined. Be determined by whom? We select our student body. That's what's best for our school, for our students. And then the other black woman president is like, we'll take a look at that. And then back in the meeting in real time, President Eva, and with her trustees, she's like, we'll take a look at that. That's what she said. Is that who we want to govern our school? And then the men are like, Dr. Fletcher, we were not aware of your other resources, and we couldn't take the chance of being forced to close our doors. And President Eva leaves the conference room. She's in her office and she's hyperventilating. She's taking deep breaths. She's trying to get and stay calm. She goes to her desk. She pulls out her purse. She doesn't find what she's looking for. She goes to her coat pocket and she gets her pills. And in comes her assistant, and President Eva drops her pills, and her assistant is like, I'm so sorry. Oh, let me get those. And President Eva's like, no, stop. Just go. Leave. And President Eva's on her knees after the assistant leaves, gathering up her pills. She's leaning up against the wall like, oh, Lord. Okay, so then we see Dean Petty. Is it Petty or Pettyway? He seemed kind of petty. I like Petty. And his wife, Cheryl Lee Ralph, I don't know his wife's name, and her brother at dinner and at the Petty's place. And Cheryl Lee Ralph is trying to talk her brother into letting his son, Dwight Jenkins, the football star, attend GAMU. And the brother is like, after he attends a Division I school and gets drafted and becomes rich and famous, he'll make a generous donation to GAMU. And Petty is like, well, I can't argue with that. And the wife is like, well, I can. We are here for black children. And when we got married, we agreed that I would prep them in high school and that you would finish them off in college. That's what me and my husband do. We got a plan. We have produced some remarkable alumni. And we want, my nephew to be a part of that tradition. And Dean Petty, while she's talking, he's coughing. And she's like, what's going on? You need to go see the doctor. And her brother is like, just like a woman, all he needs is some castor oil. She's like, no. And then they kiss and everything. And then her phone rings and she's like, oh, this is a parent. I got to take this call. And then the Petty is like, come on in my office or whatever. And there, he pours him a drink and, his brother is like, the brother-in-law, Dwight's daddy, is like, hey, it's all about the money. That baby boy was born premature. When he was 6 and he started playing football, we saw that he had that talent. It was amazing. I came off the road from driving trucks to be with him. And Petty is like, Dwight is talented, but this is about you and your failed football career. Not Dwight. And the brother is like, bye. Keep your drink. I ain't here to talk about this mess. Tell my sister I said bye. And then we see Noni. She's coming into Ebony's room and she's like, I got to use the computer because Noni's computer isn't finished being built yet. And, Ebony and us are like, who gets computers built? And that girl is like, what they can, if you build your own computer, what they got all your information. They can spy on you basically. And then, Ebony is like, I saw Diamond, so what's up? I know he was looking for you. And after what Diamond did to you and to me, how are you still dealing with him? And Noni is like, it's what I want. It's all I've ever wanted. And Ebony is like, you wanted to play the instrument, whatever he's got you doing with Clive Taylor ain't a part of that plan. And you can lie to me, but don't lie to yourself. Diamond is the devil. And if you are doing his dirty work, what does that make you? And then we see like a big gathering of students. And they've been put together by the trustees for a special announcement. And Noni and Ebony, they're like, we getting funeral vibes from these trustees. What's going on? And the trustee announces the merger with Atlanta State University to become part of the Georgia University system. And then Petty leaves because he's upset. And then the kids are booing and yelling, no, boo, this is some boo, blah, 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 blah. And then Ebony is like, this, look at this. And then Noni is like, but President Fletcher, she doesn't look like she's part of the plan. She doesn't look like she has any power in this situation. Then Ebony texts Cedric for them to finish their protest song. And then we see Dean Petty at the lounge bar place, I guess, where they hang out, and he's talking to Diamond about the merger. And it's one or two other guys there. And then Petty is like, my soul can't be bought. I'm not down for this merger. I don't like it. I don't appreciate it. And Diamond is like, well, I'm going to wait and see. But I'm going to tell you what I don't like and what I don't appreciate. Can you believe that SOB Clive Taylor had the nerve to admit to my face that he stole my music? And then Petty is like, Clive Taylor is a lot, but a thief? And then another guy is like, Clive Taylor is talented. Why would he steal from you? Why would he do that? And Diamond is like, because he ain't. Because Diamond is like, because Clive Taylor ain't so talented. And, my medical issues are over now. And now I'm all on Clive. The merger is a done deal. But I'm about to get that Clive. Then we see Coach and President Eva, and they're talking, Dwight and the merger. And Eva's like, this was my Everest, and they cut me down before I could reach my peak. I had been to hell and back for this school, and it's never enough. And then the coach's phone rings, and he's like, oh, it's my wife. I have to go. Then we see Coach Eugene, and he's running up to his wife. She's on the side of the road. She's been run off the road. He's like, what happened? And she's like, it was by that guy. I saw who did it. And then her phone rings, and she picks it up, and she's like, it's Romeo. And then that's who's calling, and she gives the phone to Coach. And Coach is like, I just paid you half of the money. And then he's comforting his wife. He's hugging her and everything. And then we see Taylor. He's walking up on Cecil Diamond and the fellas at the lounge/bar. And he's like, you lose, Cecil Diamond, and I hear you blaming everybody but yourself. And Cecil is like, blame goes to the chump standing in front of me. And then Petty is like, you guys stop this fighting. Just stop this fighting. You were not, and then he says to Clive Taylor, like, you weren't invited to be here, go on somewhere. And Clive Taylor is like, oh, now I got to be invited to hang out with my friends. Here's a picture of his prize pupil cleaning instruments, begging me because she wants to come. She's so desperate to leave him. She want to come and be at my school, and get into my band. And Diamond is like, oh, so now you're still in my leftovers too? And then in comes Petty's wife, Cheryl Lee Ralph, and she's like diffusing the situation. And Taylor is like, okay, ma'am, and he leaves and everything. And then we see Cedric, and he's working on music, and Ebony is kind of like touching his shoulders, checking in on him. He's frustrated, and he's like, the engineer is clowning the quality of the stuff. He say when you separate out the vocals, you can still hear students in the background. And, I'm for real, E. We got to get some real studio with acoustics and an engineer and stuff. And Ebony is like, okay, and I think we need to get an R&B hook for this because this song is just begging for it. And she kind of sings, and then like, but she's like, but we gonna get a real singer. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna look for a singer, and you look for a singer too. Then we see President Eva, and she's being visited in her office by the other black woman president. And the other black woman president come on in. She's like, you people are so committed to keeping the doors open. You should just be commended. And Eva rolls her eyes, and she turns around, and she says, we need to talk about the merger terms now that the merger has happened. It's already happened, girl. What you gonna talk about? But Eva's still mad. She tried. She ain't gave up yet. She's still fighting. And the other president is like, it's consolidation across the board. Now I'm in charge because my boss knows nothing about running the HBCU, and he knows that I am the best qualified, best person for the job, and most qualified. Please try to, act a little more collaborative. Hey, Rowdy Chica, please try to act a little more collaborative. And President Eva is like, we were promised independence. And then the other president is like, you'll have it over the day-to-day operations. However, as a satellite campus of ASU, all major calls will be made by me. And President Eva is like, I think that we both agree that HBCUs are important. And then the other president is like, yep. And who better to guide GAMU back to relevance and cultural significance than an HBCU graduate, meaning herself. Thank you for the light. And then we see Noni and Diamond. And she's showing him a video of the origin of some of the Clive Taylor's originals. You know, he's been stealing them from smaller schools who aren't going to be in the competition. So the big competition, so they might not even know that he stole it. And if they do know that he stole it, they don't have the resources to fight him legally. Yeah, and so Noni turns in her uniform explaining that, you know, my best friend asked me again today why I still want to be in your band. And I just couldn't explain and I couldn't justify, you know, why I want to be down with you, Director Diamond. And I broke several laws trying to please you. And I'm too smart to be acting this dumb. And then she leaves. And we see President Eva, and when she leaves, he like looking at the uniform and like, Then we see President Eva, and she's entering Coach Eugene's office. And she's like, I could use some good news. So how's it going? And Coach is kind of like, how's what going? Because he got a lot on his mind. He ain't been thinking about, you know. And Eva's like, where are we? As he's staring blankly with Dwight Jenkins. You promised you would reach out to him. Did you forget? And the coach is like, oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I've been distracted. You know, I've been trying to, I'm going to get to it first thing in the morning. And President Eva is like, that's not good enough. We all need to be perfect if we want to keep Chambers off our behinds. And then the coach is like, do you know the name of the most winningest player in the NFL? And President Eva is like, I have no idea. And then the coach is like, blah, 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 blah. I guess he gives her some football metaphor. And then Eva's like, thank you. I appreciate that. We see Diamond at Clive Taylor's school. Clive Taylor is playing the piano. And Diamond is like, so what did I do to merit what you did to me? Was it because you were not good enough to be first chair? I have to maintain excellence. I have a standard to maintain. And Taylor is like, I was hazed. I got back from the hospital and I came back because I wanted to play with the great Diamond. And I had barely even healed. And you gave me only one chance to audition for first chair. And I bled for you. And you wouldn't even give me a fair chance. And you said it was my problem? Well, it looks like it's your problem now. And then he goes back to playing the piano. I don't know if he did or he didn't, but that's what he should have done. Then we see Coach Eugene, and he's with his financial advisor person type situation. Not really an advisor. He's trying to withdraw the money from his baby girl's college fund. And the person is like, look, if you withdraw, it's going to be penalties. You're going to have to pay taxes. It's not really worth it. What you doing? What's going on? And he like, I can't even hear it. I just got to do what I got to do. And then it turns out that his gambling wife has already been there and got that money. She already done took the money out of the children's college fund. So we see Coach arriving home, and he's sending the girls off to their room or whatever, and he's confronting his wife. And he's like, you gambled away the girls' college fund? And then his wife is like, but I have a plan. You know, she's an addict. I have a plan. And, you know, I'm going to call him. He like, he know where our girls' school is. She's like, I'm going to call him. I'm going to do whatever he wants me to do. Okay. You know, I don't know. I'm going to make everything work. I'm going to figure it out. Do you have any ideas, Eugene? You don't have any ideas? I'm just going to do what it takes. And she's packing a bag. And then she stops and she's like, you know, like in frustration and just like distress, because obviously she ain't got no good plan. And then he sits down and he's holding her. So like even in her mess and confusion and the mess and confusion, he still love her. He still support her. He's still trying to, you know, that's his wife. That's the children. That's the mama of his children. He still feel a way about her. And you know, he don't hate her or don't want to kill her or nothing. He feel bad for her. She an addict. She's messed up. And then we see Big Brother Miles ahead, and he's in a suit and he's coming into he's coming into you know, where the room where the pledges are, and they're all in like white button down dress shirts and black ties and slacks. And he's like, you know, y'all got a really tough night ahead tonight. So we turning things up a notch. And because of the severity of this next session, you are allowed to opt out, no questions asked. So anybody want to opt out, nobody says anything. They just standing there. And he's like, you know, Bryce, you know, and Bryce is like, I'm in. And then Miles is like, Cedric, you in or are you out? And then Bryce is looking at Cedric, and Cedric is like, I'm in. And then they walk into a room and they're surrounded by big brothers holding candles. They're entering, you know, the ritual of the crossing of the burning sands. And, you know, they go through the ritual and they get pinned. And then Bryce's dad and brother are there. Congratulations. And then, you know, Cedric kind of walks by and, you know, he like, congratulations, you made it. And Bryce is like, no, bro, we made it. And that was very brotherly of Cedric. And then we see President Eva, and she's at her presidential residence, and she's getting her drugs out of the drawer, and she's taking her drugs with wine. It's not a good idea, I don't think. Does she always take it with wine? She's a complicated character. Everybody is so complicated. Okay, so then we see Van Jones, and he's speaking. He's one of the brothers, the big brothers, and he's welcoming the fellas to the brotherhood and sharing chapter history. And Diamond is a member. And what do we stand for? Service, commitment, excellence. Yes, we stand for the truth. We fight for the truth. We are the truth, because in the end, the truth will always win. You know, Van Jones is talking. Then we see the coach's daughter, and she's waking up, and she's like, Daddy. And there's nobody there except for the shadow of evil that just walked by her. And then we see Coach. He's sleeping, sitting up next to the bed. His wife is in the bed. Then the intruder is like, you know, something he says, you know, wake up. And then his wife is like, Eugene. And then Eugene is like, do whatever you want, just don't hurt my babies. Which is kind of like just a jacked up situation, because if he kills you, then how you gonna protect your babies? It's kind of like, how you making demands when you ain't really got nothing to bargain with? But I guess you might as well make a demand. You can't do nothing else. You better not hurt my babies, or I'm gonna haunt you from the other side. And then the intruder is like, I don't gotta hurt nobody. Y'all got my money. And then Eugene, you know, attacks him, and they fighting for the gun. You know, he rushes the guy, and then the wife, the baby girls are like, Daddy. And then, you know, the wife, he's like, Eugene's like, go to the girls. And the wife runs out, and she goes to the girls. And then we hear the girls yelling, Daddy. Maybe they're yelling what they did at the beginning of the episode, but probably that's what I'd do if it was my episode. And then we see a battle, and we see him fighting for the gun, and we don't know what happens because we just see a shot of the house, and then we hear a gunshot. Boom! So we figure somebody dead. We don't know if it's Eugene or the other guy, but somebody done, you know, got shot. We don't know if they dead, but somebody done got shot. And that's it. I think I'm one episode behind. I'm going to try to catch up tomorrow. I'm not behind in my watching. I'm just behind in my reviewing. This is one of my favorite shows. I know I'm really, really behind in it. Thank you. I know I'm behind in it, but y'all, I don't know if you watch it, if you love it, but I just really enjoy this show, especially this year. But that's all I got. Today is the best day ever. So take it and make it what it is. Enjoy it and be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Peace. Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous.